व्यक्तं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपदान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशधारिणे नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरतुषे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरोर्भ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। नमोस्तुते व्यासविशालबुद्धे फुल्लारविन्दायतपत्रनेत्रे येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयप्रदीपः प्रपन्नपरिजाताय स्तोत्रवैत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। So we are studying chapter 7 of Bhagavad-Gita as it is. And in the last section of the chapter, only few verses are left. Krishna is talking about the difference between demigod worship and worshipping him with unalloyed devotion. And then he also mentions about worshipping him in impersonal form. That is the verse that we discussed yesterday at the last. Avyaktam vyaktim apannam manyante mama buddhayaha. So this verse talks about Mayavad philosophy, the approach of Mayavadis in understanding Krishna. That Krishna is impersonal originally, but now because of having come in contact with three modes of material nature, he has acquired a material form. So that's Mayavad, to see that Krishna's body, transcendental body, is made up of Maya. Okay? Mm-hmm. Now Krishna will next in verse 25, which will end this section, explain why people, they are deluded by Maya. Why? What is the reason for them being covered over by Maya? So he'll explain that point here very nicely in this verse number 25. Naham prakasha sarvasya yogamaya samavritaha मूढ़ोऽयं नाभिजानाति लोको माम् अजमव्ययम् नाहं प्रकाशः सर्वस्य योगमाया samavritah. I am covered by Yogamaya. I am never manifest to the foolish and unintelligent. For them, I am covered by my internal potency, and therefore they do not know that I am unborn and infallible. So here he uses the term Yoga Maya Samavrita, because the Yoga Maya, being Krishna's internal potency, can cover Krishna. Mahamaya cannot cover Krishna, being external potency. But Yoga Maya can cover Krishna. So, two kinds of coverings are there. First is the Yogmaya covering Krishna and Mahamaya covering us. So, there are two veils. One is on us and one is on Krishna. Because of that, we cannot see Krishna. So, someone may say then, okay, I'll get rid of the covering which is upon my eyes. That will make me qualified to see Krishna. Then also it's not done, because even if you become uncovered, Krishna still remains covered. And therefore, in the purport, Srila Prabhupada will talk about a prayer which a person who has gone to the stage of Brahman realization, which means that person is now uncovered, the vision is uncovered from Maya, still praying to Krishna to remove that covering which is uh, obstructing one's view of Krishna. So there are two coverings. One is of Yog Maya, one is of Mahamaya. The covering of Maya, Mahamaya is on us. The covering of Yoga Maya is on Krishna. Okay. So they do not know that I am unborn and infallible. Purport. It may be argued that since Krishna was visible to everyone when he was present on this earth, how can it be said that he is not manifest to everyone? But actually, he was not manifest to everyone. When Krishna was present, there were only a few people who could understand him to be the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In the assembly of Kurus, when Shishupal spoke against Krishna's being elected president of the assembly, Bhishma supported him and proclaimed him to be the supreme god. Similarly, the Pandavas and few others knew that he was the supreme, but not everyone. He was not revealed to the non devotees and the common man. Therefore, in the Bhagavad-Gita, Krishna says that, but for his pure devotees, all men consider him to be like themselves. He was manifest only to his devotees as the reservoir of pleasure, all pleasure, but to others, to unintelligent non devotees, he was covered by his internal potency. In the prayers of Kunti in the Srimad Bhagavatam 1.8.19, it is said that the Lord is covered by the curtain of Yoga Maya, and thus ordinary people cannot understand him. This Yogamaya curtain is also confirmed in the Ishopanishad mantra 15, in which the devotee prays, Hiranmayena patrena satyasyapi hitang mukham tattvam pushan apavrinu satyadharmaya drishtaye. O my Lord, you are the maintainer of the entire universe, and devotional service to you is the highest religious principle. Therefore, I pray that you will also maintain me. Your transcendental form is covered by the Yoga Maya. The Brahma Jyotir is the covering of the internal potency. May you kindly remove this glowing effulgence that impedes my seeing your Satchidananda Vigraha, your eternal form of bliss and knowledge. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, in his transcendental form of bliss and knowledge, is covered by the internal potency of the Brahma Jyotir, and the less intelligent impersonalists cannot see the Supreme on this account. Also in the Srimad Bhagavatam 10.14.7, there is this prayer by Brahma, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, O Super Soul, O Master of all mystery, who can calculate your potency and pastimes in this world? You are always expanding your internal potency, and therefore no one can understand you. Learned scientists and learned scholars can examine the atomic constitution of the material world or even the planets, but still they are unable to calculate your energy and potency, although you are present before them. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, is not only unborn, but also avyaya, inexhaustible. His eternal form is bliss and knowledge, and his energies are all inexhaustible. Okay. Mhm. So this section ends here. Krishna worshipped in impersonal form Krishna worshipped by the great souls, people worshipping demigods. In the last section of this chapter, verse 26 to 30, it talks about this raga and dvesha, why people are in illusion. This is explained here. So let's go to verse 26. It's a new subject, cause of bewilderment and freedom from it. 26 to 30. 26. Vedaham samatitani vartamanani charjuna bhavishyani cha bhutani mam tu vedana kashana. Krishna is saying, I don't become covered by Mahamaya, or I'm not covered by illusory potency. People's vision is covered, not Krishna, it's covered by Maya. And the reason, because of that reason, Krishna is telling here that he doesn't forget anything. That's a comparison between him and other living entities. Every other living entity forgets, but Krishna does not. He remembers the past, the present, even the future he knows. So that shows that he is beyond the three modes of material nature. He's transcendental. O Arjuna, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, I know everything that has happened in the past, all that is happening in the present, and all things that are yet to come. I also know all living entities, but me, no one knows. Read the purport. Yes, someone wants to read. Sanjay Mishra, Prabhu, you want to read?
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Here the question of personality and impersonality is clearly stated. If Krishna, the form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, were Maya material, as the impersonalists consider him to be, then, like the living entity, he would change his body and forget everything about his past life. Anyone with a material body cannot remember his past life, nor can he foretell his future life, nor can he predict the outcome of his present life. Therefore, he cannot know what is happening in past, present, and future. Unless one is liberated from material contamination, he cannot know past, present, and future. Unlike the ordinary human being, Lord Krishna clearly says that he completely knows what happened in the past, what is happening in the present, and what will happen in the future. In the fourth chapter, we have seen that Lord Krishna remembers instructing Vivaswan, the sun god, billions of years ago. Krishna knows every living entity because he is situated in every living being's heart as the super soul. But despite his presence in every living entity as super soul and his presence as the supreme personality of Godhead, the less intelligent, even if able to realize the impersonal Brahman, cannot realize Sri Krishna as the supreme person. Certainly, the transcendental body of Sri Krishna is not perishable. He is just like the sun, and Maya is like a cloud. In the material world, we can see that there is sun and that there are clouds and different stars and planets. The clouds may cover all this in the sky temporarily, but this covering is only apparent to our limited vision. The sun, moon, and stars are not actually covered. Similarly, Maya cannot cover the Supreme Lord. By his internal potency, he is not manifest to the less intelligent class of men. As it is stated in the third verse of this chapter, out of millions and millions of men, some try to become perfect in this human form of life. And out of thousands and thousands of such perfected men, hardly one can understand what Lord Krishna is. Even if one is perfected by realization of impersonal Brahman or localized Paramatma, he cannot possibly understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead Sri Krishna without being in Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. So Srila Prabhupada begins by saying, if Krishna, the form of Krishna was Maya, then like the living entity, he would change his body and forget everything about his past life. But that doesn't happen. He remembers everything. And this is something Krishna already explained to Arjuna before also. Do you remember which chapter the same subject came? Where Krishna says that this is not the first time. Hmm? Which
Fourth
chapter?
chapter. Fourth
Fourth
chapter.
chapter. Yeah, fourth chapter. When Arjuna told Krishna that you and me are same age, how did you give this knowledge to the sun god? So then Krishna said there that I have taken many births before, and you also have taken many births before. But it's just that I remember all of them and you don't remember. Hmm. Right? So, because Krishna doesn't change his body, therefore Prabhupada uses this word self same body. He comes in the self same body. Always that is the same. For us, that's not the case. Our body changes. So we forget. Then there is an analogy given here. He is just like the sun, and the Maya is like a cloud. Very nice analogy. What produces the cloud? It is the sun only that produces the cloud. Similarly, Maya is also coming from Krishna only. But then the cloud cannot cover the sun. So Maya can also not cover Krishna. However, the cloud can cover a person's vision of the sun. Similarly, Maya also covers our vision of Krishna. Hmm. Right. So, just like the cloud is created by Krishna's potency, the sun's potency, similarly, that cloud can also be destroyed by the sun's potency. If the sun becomes too hot, then the cloud also evaporates. It gets destroyed. You know. Similarly, this cloud of Maya has become, has come into existence as a potency of Krishna, but Krishna can remove this covering also. That's what he says. In chapter 7, we came across that verse. Devi hi esha gunmayi maya duratyaya mama eva ye prapadyante maya metan tarantite. Okay, so this is done. And because Krishna does not forget, there's a very important lesson here. Because Krishna does not forget everything of the past. In Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu Rup Goswami says, there's a very nice quality in Krishna. And Krishna has this quality to superlative degree. And what is that quality? He doesn't fail to be grateful. He's always grateful because he remembers everything. So he doesn't forget. Mm, right. So he's grateful. He's grateful towards his devotees, towards everyone. Whatever they have done for him, he remembers them. Those things. He remembers a lot. Like there's this pastime. You can see this beautiful painting in the slide. It is the pastime of Krishna giving his darshan to Maharaj Muchukunda. It comes in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10. I'm sure you must have heard this pastime before. So, Muchukunda was a great king and a great devotee, and he was so powerful and valiant that once the demigods they called him to fight against the demons and protect the demigods who were attacked by the demons. So Muchukanda he went and fought on behalf of the demigods and he killed all the demons, asuras, so that demigods can live peacefully and enjoy. So after the battle happened, which happened for a long time, the demigods they told Muchukanda Maharaj, "What boon do you want from us?" So Muchukanda Maharaj thought that let me find out a way that these people don't disturb me anymore again. Otherwise, again, if there will be an attack of the demons, they will call me to fight again. In this way, I'll be just busy in fighting for them. So he thought, why not ask the boon of sleeping forever? In this way, no one will disturb me. Mm. So he told the demigods, I want to sleep for long, long time, and no one should spoil my sleep. And just to make sure that the demigods don't disturb me again, he also said, if anyone disturbs me in my sleep, that person should get burned by my vision. I should be able to destroy that person by my sight. So the demigod said, oh, tathastu, so be it. So then Muchukunda, when he got this boon, he thought of now going to a cave and lie down there in Kamyavan, Vrindavan, right? I mean, Vraja in Kamyavan, him to take rest in that cave. So after long, long time, it's like so many yugas have passed. Such a long time has passed. Then Krishna appeared in Dwapar Yuga, and Krishna was in Mathura. So one demon, he attacked Krishna's city, Kala Yavana. His name was Kala Yavana. On one side, Jarasan was attacking Mathura. On other side, Kala Yavana was attacking Mathura. So Krishna thought, I don't want to get all this massacre done here in Mathura again and again. So let me go away from here. He started walking away from Mathura. Kalyavana was chasing him, walking behind him. So Krishna was just walking and Kalyavana was running. He was not able to catch Krishna. This is what is explained. He was running and Krishna was walking. And still he was not able to catch. So then Krishna came all the way to Kamyavan, to this cave where Muchukunda Maharaj was sleeping, right? And then Krishna entered the cave. So when Krishna entered the cave, Kalyavana became very furious that first of all you are running, now you're going inside the cave. Let me also come inside the cave and smash you down. So when he entered the cave, what did he see? He saw one person was lying down, and that person was Maharaj Muchukunda, but Krishna put his upper garment as a shawl on the body of Maharaj Muchukunda. So Kalyavana thought this person is crazy. I mean, he makes me chase him all the way, and now he's sleeping in the cave. He's so nonchalant that he's not even afraid that I am chasing behind him, and he's so disrespectful. So then he kicked that person sleeping in the cave. So Maharaj Muchukunda got up. He saw Kalyavana standing in front of him and he burned him down to ashes because he got that boon from the demigods. But then, because Muchukunda Maharaj was a skilled Kshatriya warrior, he could sense someone else's presence also in the cave. He was like, I'm not alone here, there is someone else also. So he turned around to see who was that person, and that was Krishna. So he got darshan of Krishna, and then he prayed to Krishna and said, so many yogis, they perform tapasya for thousands of years and they only get darshan of the tip of your toe. Hmm. Right? After performing austerity for long, long time, what they get to see is only the tip of the toe of Krishna. That also sometimes only the light coming from the tip of the toe. And Maharaj Mushaganda then says, and I was doing nothing, I was just sleeping. I did not do any tapasya, no devotional service. I was only sleeping. So why are you giving me darshan? I've done nothing. I was sleeping. Hmm. So then Krishna at that time tells Maharaj Muchukanda that you might have forgotten all the devotional service you have performed, but I remember all the sevas that you have done for me. And because I'm pleased with you, so I've come here to give you darshan. Hmm. So that is Krishna's quality of being grateful because he remembers. And ordinary human beings, they are ungrateful because they keep on forgetting what people have done for them. They don't remember. Even if people have done a lot for them, they will keep on forgetting. So to be grateful, one should remember. If you don't remember, you can't be grateful. One has to remember what good has been done to me by such and such person, right? And Krishna has that quality, so he doesn't remain ungrateful ever. Okay, next verse. Then Krishna talks about that cloud which covers the vision of conditioned soul. It's a very important verse, 27. Ichha dvesha samuthena dvandva mohena bharata sarvabhutani sammoham sargayanti parantapa. So the cloud is of two things, Ichha and Dvesha. Samuthena, Dvandva Mohena Bharata. Maya means these two things, Ichha, Dvesha. Ichha means desire, Dvesha means hatred. So this creates a concept of duality. To simplify, ichha means like, dvesh means dislike. I dislike. The whole world is revolving around these two feelings of liking and disliking, right? And that creates the cloud of illusion. Dvandva mohena bharatam sarvabhutani sammoham sargiyanti parantapa. O scion of Bharata, O conqueror of the foe, all living entities are born into delusion, bewildered by dualities, arisen from desire and hate. Raga and Dvesha. Ichha is also, you can say, synonymous to the word Raga. Raga, Dvesha, Samuthena. Now, these two terms, Raga and Dvesh, the whole Bhagavad Gita, if you see, is centralized in curing this disease of conditioned soul of having Raga and Dvesha. No, this is the whole message of Bhagavad Gita. Because till the time one is not free from Raga and Dvesh, one's vision will always be clouded. If you have clouded vision, you cannot see anything correctly. Similarly, if the intelligence and mind is clouded, then true knowledge can never come to us. It's not possible. Raga means attachment or likingness. So ichha and dvesha. So in spiritual life, the first step which any sadhaka has to take in one's spiritual life is to get rid of rag and dvesh. Right? This is something very important. See, as time is changing, as culture is changing, as people's mindset is changing, so people's understanding of spirituality is also becoming very blurry and very vague. Nowadays, people have very romantic understanding of spirituality. Romantic understanding means I can be the way I like, and still Krishna loves me the most, and I love Krishna the most. That's a very romantic understanding of spirituality. Uh, but that is not the correct understanding of spirituality. Spirituality is a science. So in that science, the first step to actually move towards spiritual realization is one has to become free from rag and dvesha, which means one has to rise above material platform. Material platform has these two things only, rag and dvesha. You are liking certain things and you're disliking certain things. And why you like those things and why you dislike those things is just because you have developed some sanskar over a period of time for liking those things and disliking those things, right? And why that sanskar has developed? Because of too much of interaction with those things or too much of aversion for those things. Like to give an example, if someone smokes, so that person has developed raga for smoking. But how has that raga developed? Because person has spoken for some period of time, isn't it? Mhm. So, like that, we develop these attachments and aversions. And the first step in spiritual life is to minimize, if not completely remove, is to minimize material attachments and material aversions. Not just attachments, even aversions. Sometimes people think of only or talk of only attachments, but even there are things which we are averse to, which is good for our spiritual life, but we are averse to those things. So we have to get rid of these attachments and aversions. And what are your attachments and your aversions? Then no one can tell, only you can tell, right? And the most interesting thing is that because only you can tell what are your rag and dvesha, you only can cheat yourself. No, no, you can't cheat anyone else. Only you can cheat yourself because you know very well where is your rag and where is your dvesha. Mhm. So these two things are there. And in spiritual life, one has to work a lot on this initially. Why? Because only when one has cleared this cloud, then the mind and intelligence becomes sufficiently, you can say, clean and clear to be able to perceive the spiritual reality. Otherwise, that reality is not seen by us because we have this cloud in our vision, you know, so we cannot see, isn't it? Just like winter is now coming, so very soon there'll be fog, almost like 7 a.m., 8 a.m., 9 a.m., some days even till 10 a.m. So much thick fog. You can't see anything because of that fog. Though the eyes are having very sharp vision, but because of the fog, you cannot see. Similarly, this rag and dvesh, they create a fog in the intelligence and in the mind, this fog. So this fog can be removed only by getting rid of this rag and dvesha, ichha dvesha. Very important. Hmm. Right. Now, what happens is if I have developed rag towards something, most often it is going to get converted into dvesha after some time.
Dvesha. Hmm.
And that's what happens mostly. Like in this world, someone falls in love with someone, and then something goes wrong. And then what happens is then you develop hatred towards the same person, right? So the best friends become the worst enemies. Mhm. That's what happens. Dvesha is hatred, aversion, dvesha. You don't like it anymore. You want to stay away from it. And the raga is too much of likingness for it. So this is very important to come out of it. Now, in spiritual life, there is an interesting help for us or support for us. Let's say you have too much attachment for something. So in spiritual life, there is a leverage. Okay, you have rag for this thing. So fine, you accept it. But at the same time, that acceptance is allowed only if you agree to come out of it. If you want to stay in it, then that is not allowed. You know, like to give you an example, Grihastha ashram is allowed only if you are ready to come out of it. Otherwise, it's not allowed. You know, means you can accept something. You have raga for that thing. Some attachment is there, so you accept it. But then, meanwhile, you are interacting with that thing. You should be also able to develop the realization that I have to come out of it. Then you have become victorious or you have fulfilled the goal, you know. But if only things are accepted and one remains attached and one doesn't come out of it, then that becomes the cause of bondage. So this is a great science. And for every sadhaka, one should know this science that we may sometimes, because of attachments, enter into some things. We may get some material objects, we may start some material relationship, we may do this, we may do that. But the goal of entering into anything which is pravritti is to come out of it, nivritti. Then you are successful. And if you're not able to come out of it, then you are in the mess.
Sorry, Prabhuji. I have a really, it is very connected to me. You were saying come out of it, then why to enter into it? So,
Because you need it very badly.
uh and like you said, people have boyfriend, girlfriend. If
I
you
never
don't,
said boyfriend, girlfriend, but you are saying that. Yes, go ahead.
no, no. If you have loved someone in the past for marriage purpose, and marriage didn't happen, and he is with another girl now.
That
So,
is a big problem. No, this should not happen. Before marriage, why fall in love?
no,
That
but
that itself is wrong. That
okay,
itself is a big mistake.
big, we were not Krishna conscious, so that happened.
Yeah, that happens.
So, but after so many years, also we are not able to forget that person. We are not hatred, but
So that is because again it's the same thing. We get attached too easily. So that's our nature. That may be the nature of our heart. We have to now become a little strong and understand the reality. See, when you talk about falling in love, because we are not Krishna conscious, it's not about being Krishna conscious or not being Krishna conscious. Those people who are in Krishna consciousness, they may also fall in love. I mean, it may happen. It's the point is, it's about embracing illusion or embracing reality. That's the point.
But why it is wrong to fall in love?
Because you, first of all, it's not love.
Lust.
Whatever you say, but it's not love. You don't understand what love is. Whom are you loving? What are you loving? Think about it. Do you even see that person whom you think you are loving? You don't even know who that person is. You only see the material body. So where is reality in that? It is only the three modes of material nature influencing you to like someone. And when that person changes, you don't like that person anymore. It's
After
only,
6 also, no touch and I still cries.
yeah, whatever it may be. It's just something which is happening on the material platform. It has got nothing to do with the soul. Therefore, all these words are very fancy words. My soulmate. So how can it be soulmate? Neither you are functioning on the platform of soul, nor that person is functioning on the platform of soul. So the problem with all of us, not to say all of us, but most of us, is that we have been brought up in a world of dreams that also not real dreams, false dreams. And therefore we have developed a very wrong understanding of what is life, you know. So it's not that only a devotee feels like that. Even a non-devotee who is little experienced in life and mature in life will tell you very boldly on your face, there's nothing like love in this material world. Mhm. Forget about devotees. Even non-devotees will know that. There's nothing like love. What can be there is because there is a person who has certain qualities and behavior and nature that you appreciate, and then you have certain which the other person appreciate. So you're able to happily work together without fighting with each other. Mm. That may happen. And if that happens, that is good enough. You know, that is good enough. That you may call as love. That's okay. No. Other than that, there's no love. Uh, First of all, you don't have capacity to love, and the other person also doesn't have capacity to love. So where's the point of love? Hmm. It is only as the better word to use is infatuation, and that infatuation is created by interaction of three modes of material nature. That's all. So it's like that. And it happens to everyone. It's not that only you, everyone gets infatuated with something. It may be a person, it may be an object, or it may be a situation, or it may be a particular kind of house, particular kind of car, particular kind of lifestyle. You know. And all that happens because of three modes of material nature. So when you develop knowledge and you start seeing things more from the perspective of knowledge than from the perspective of how you feel and what you feel, then you can easily come out of those things. Right. Mhm. And second thing, again, very important point. People nowadays they enter into relationship with a very wrong foundation. You have to enter into a relationship not because you want to get something out of it, but because it's an opportunity to purify yourself, purify your existence. It is an opportunity to do your dharma, your duty. You know, that's the reason. So why people should get married? They should not get married to each other because they like each other. Because after some time you'll not like each other. That will also happen. You know. So then what happens is, I like you, you like me, let's get married. Then I don't like you, you don't like me, let's get divorced. That's what happens, and that's what is happening these days. That's what is happening these days, isn't it? So they should enter into a relationship because I need your support to execute my dharma, and you need my support to execute your dharma.
But who will understand this apart from devotees?
So then find a devotee partner. Who is saying you not to find a devotee partner? First you understand, and then you find a person who also understands, and then get married to such a person. Right? But both have to understand. So the reason why we are stuck there is because we are not able to see the reality. If you see the reality, you can very easily come out of it. And second thing,
Prabhuji,
and just a
earlier,
second, let me complete. Second thing, whenever you go back to the past and you kind of waste your time thinking about the past, you should pinch yourself that don't waste your time, be in the present and do what is more helpful in life. Then you can come out of it. The reason one cannot come out of the past is you don't want to come out of it. If you want to come out of it, you decide that I want to, and you don't waste your time going back to the past will not haunt you. But the more you entertain it, and how do you entertain it? You keep on thinking about it. So then you get affected by it. Right. So you be in the present. Don't let your mind wander back to what happened in the past and why it happened and about that person and this and that. You have to be in the present. Otherwise, you're wasting your time, valuable time. Right. And this is a problem not with you, it's a big problem with all most of the people these days. They either go to the past or they go to the future. They don't be in the present. And that's why we waste so much of time in daydreaming, unnecessary thinking, overthinking. All this is big problem of modern times. People overthink a lot, always living in the past or future, this and that. So we have to come out of it. And being a practitioner of Krishna consciousness, it should be easy for us. We have so many things to do. I mean, how do you get even time to think about the past? I am wondering. So many things are there to do. Chanting, reading, hearing, seva, job, sadhana. So much. How? Okay.
Prabhuji,
Yes, yes.
in short, how it is possible to teach or change the present day children? In short, because if I will start narrating the Bhagavad Gita, they will run away from that.
Why you
But
want
how
to
it is,
change? Don't change. You are already quite old now. Just focus on your spiritual life and come back to Godhead.
but ultimately children affect my way of life also, no?
And that time has gone now. You can't change them. You just work on your Krishna consciousness.
But they are affecting me also.
But let's say if
And
Krishna tells you you have only 2 months left, what will you do then? Then 2 months is a very short time. Will you try to change your kids or you will work on your own things? So this is a big problem. We are thinking we have a lot of time, lot of time. Now let me first work on my environment. Let me change this person, that person. It's okay if you are thinking like that when you are 30 years old, 40 years old. Now you are quite old. So now you should focus on your own Krishna consciousness and make your mind so strong that you don't get disturbed by your environment.
let them go to hell.
You see, you can't decide that. Even if you want to take them to Vaikuntha, do you think you have the capacity to do that if they don't
Not
want to
that,
go
but
to Vaikuntha?
not that thing, but some environmental change, if possible.
That's whatever is possible, you have already tried. I know that because you have intelligence and you will use your intelligence. So whatever is possible, you have tried. And still, if you're not getting any result, that is the time to give up
Give
trying
up.
more, you know. And there's always this time, you should know this, because if you don't learn to give up and come out of that situation will become the reason for you to come back to this material world. So there is a time when you have to learn to disconnect. It's very important. And whether they are your kids, your family members, they have their prarabdha, they have their choice, they have their intelligence, inclination, goals. They will continue to move on in that direction. Honestly speaking, you can't influence people much, actually. They live the life the way they want, not the way you want. You know. If you think you are influencing someone, then it's very big illusion of yours, actually. It's very, everyone is an independent person. Everyone lives the life the way he or she wants. He only takes from you what is good for him. He thinks like that, and he will not take what he thinks. So you can't do much. There was a time when we should think about it, but then there's a time when you have to wind up. Wind up means now I should just take care of my spiritual life. Okay, Prabhuji. So if you were 20 years younger, I would have not given that advice, but now I'm sorry. Looking at the reality of the age.
It's reality is reality. No very short time is left. The thing is that you are correct.
Yeah, yes, very short time is left. So better you work on that. Otherwise, Krishna will miss you and your kids will no way go back to Godhead in this life. And if you also don't make it there, then Krishna is going to miss you. Right.
Prabhuji, if we write letters to Krishna or Radha,
Huh?
uh, if we write letters to Radha, Krishna,
You write
Radha,
letters, no problem.
no,
But
if I say her, take me back home, I don't
mm,
want to be in this world. So, means is it possible? Like I have listened, only pure devotees go back. So,
yeah, so when you become pure, you'll go.
so there is no chance before that.
No.
Prabhuji, may I ask one question?
Yes.
Just not. Yeah, I mean, from Krishna's the pastimes, right? I mean, how do we see like somebody had a rag towards Krishna and it converted into dvesha?
No, it doesn't happen with Krishna. It's because in Krishna's relationship with Krishna, there is no duality. There's rag and dvesha, they appear with their dual some nature only in material interactions. In spiritual reality, there's no opposite. There's only love, there's no lust. These dualities only exist in material world or material interactions. So
So
there are
as a
two
devotee, we
phases.
shouldn't be sorry. As a devotee, we shouldn't be worried that okay, I'm now loving Krishna. Eventually, it might convert into dvesha to
No, no,
Krishna.
yeah, of
Okay.
course, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It will not get converted into dvesha towards Krishna. Only in material world it happens.
Okay.
Prabhuji,
Thank you.
can I ask one thing? Why,
Yes,
why, Prabhuji, can I ask one thing?
yes, Prabhu.
Why Kansa had dvesa with Krishna?
Why he had, only he can answer. I cannot answer why he had dvesha towards Krishna. Uh, but like, from his previous life, he was a demon in previous life and he was killed by Krishna. So he had some problem. Why did you kill me? That's why he was born with dvesha.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Interestingly, we also are born like that only in material world. We have dvesha towards Krishna. We don't have raga. And whatever we're doing now, we are trying to convert that dvesha into raga. Okay. Therefore, it is wrong to say I love Krishna if you are a sadhaka, because you don't love Krishna. What a sadhaka should say is, I desire to love Krishna. I want to love Krishna. As a sadhaka, we don't have love for Krishna. We are aiming for that. We want that. We desire that. You know, we are aspiring for that. That's what is Vaidhi Bhakti. Vaidhi Bhakti means you are aspiring for a desire to love Krishna. We don't have that desire because you can't say I love Krishna and also sometimes I want to change the flavor, therefore I love Maya also. No, it's not like that. If you love Krishna, you love Krishna. You love nothing else. So we want to, we desire, we yearn for that, we pray for that. In material world, everyone is born with only one bhava, and that's Thai bhava is dvesha. We are envious, and whole material life or human form of life is to come out of this dvesha. Okay, so we have to be working on our ichcha and dvesha. It's very important. Spiritual life means this. It's very, very essential. This is so important that if we don't work on this, we may externally be a devotee, but internally our heart will not become purified. So let's come out of romantic spirituality and be in real spirituality. Hmm. Okay. We'll read the purport. I think we did not read purport. Sarveshwar Jagannath Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Dhanyavad. The real constitutional position of the living entity is that the subordination of to the Lord's Supreme Lord, who is pure knowledge. When one is deluded into separation from this pure knowledge, he becomes controlled by the illusionary energy and cannot understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The illusionary energy is manifested in the duality of desire and hate. Due to desire and hate, the ignorant person wants to become one with the Supreme Lord and envies Krishna as the Supreme Lord, Supreme Personality of Godhead. Pure devotees who are not deluded or contaminated by desire and hate can understand that Lord Krishna appears by his eternal potencies. But those who are deluded by the duality and nescience think that the Supreme Personality of God is created by material energy. This is their misfortune. Such deluded person symptomatically, uh, symptomatically dwelled into dualities of dishonor and honor, miseries and happiness, women and men, good and bad, pleasure and pain, etc. Thinking, this is my wife, this is my house, I am the master of this house, I am the husband of this wife. These are the dualities of delusion. Those who are so deluded by dualities are completely foolish and therefore cannot understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Hare Krishna.
Okay, so there's a question. I think Shishupal had dvesha or envy. I'm sorry, I didn't see that question earlier. Towards Krishna or both. Bro, this envy is also dvesha only. Uh, it's not different. Okay. Yes, thank you for the reading the purport. Next verse. Yesham tu antagatam papam jananam punyakarmanam te dvandamoha nirmukta bhajante mam trilvrataha. So then Krishna says, one who becomes free from papa, sin, can engage in my devotional service with determination. Okay, persons who have acted piously in previous lives and in this life, and whose sinful actions are completely eradicated, are freed from the dualities of delusion, and they engage themselves in my service with determination. So this is also a very important verse. So this cloud is there of rag and dvesha, and we can remove this cloud by giving up sinful tendencies and living life in a pious manner. So this is again an important practical lesson. If sinful tendencies or sinful activities continue to exist in our action, then that cloud will only become thicker and thicker. Therefore, Prabhupada made these four regulative principles. Because if we don't follow these principles, then the cloud becomes thicker and thicker, and we become more prone to rag and dvesha. So when we follow these principles, then our life becomes clean up, life becomes pure. When you say now becoming pure, what does it mean? Becoming pure of these two things only, rag and dvesha, purified, becoming pure. Impurity means this is there, rag is there, dvesha is there. That is the impurity. Hmm. Becoming pure means getting rid of it. So when you say pure Krishna consciousness, what does that mean? You don't have rag and dvesha, and you are executing Krishna consciousness. That is pure Krishna consciousness. Mm. So how do we become pure? By getting rid of sinful actions. And therefore we have all these rules and regulations. Follow dharma, don't be adharmic, all those things. And then Prabhupada also mentions in the purport that we can do certain things like later he'll mention, but we can also use that as a tip that we fast on certain days like Ekadashi, we circumambulate Tulsi Maharani. All that increases our piety. It increases our piety and it burns our sinful reactions. So we have to do that as a sadhana. Hmm. So on daily basis, the way we live our life, we have to understand this thing that how much sinless I'm becoming and how much pure uh, principles in life I'm adopting. The way I eat, the way I even talk, the way I live my life, the way I earn money, the way I interact with people in my relationships. So is it based on dharma or it is based on adharma?
Prabhuji, I have a question.
Hmm.
When it comes to the point which you said, when we circumambulate around Turasi, or there are some things like when we take a dip in the holy river Ganga, our sinful reactions will be like these things. So people take misadvantage of these things, right? They misunderstood, like we can do this thing, and so see, Ganga river is holy, and Tulsi itself is the holy thing. So it doesn't differentiate, okay, this person is doing these activities or something. So how can that be justified?
Uh, that personality will not differentiate, but there is another person, no, he's sitting as the judge. His name is Mr. Yamaraj. He is going to differentiate. So he's there, right, to judge everything you have done.
Yeah.
Taking different holy Ganga, circumambulating Tulsi, he's there to judge.
Okay. So it doesn't mean like a person who, wantedly do some sinful. Is it like sometimes we don't know, or we don't understand? Indirectly, we might do some sinful actions like harming others. So those will be sanctified.
Unknowingly things have been done, that is okay. Sometimes there's exemption for that, or the punishment is not so severe for that. But when you talk about people, they just go there and they whimsically take bath and then they think, now I'm free from my sin, now I can start committing sin again. So that is deliberate, no?
Yes, yes.
So then when someone does something like that, then that is considered as cheating mentality.
Yeah.
Then that cheating mentality will be accordingly dealt with also.
And one more question: our sinful reactions will be purified means, like, what kind of sinful reactions will be purified?
Whatever we have done in the past, there's no, I mean, how can you have an account of it? You can't. Only Yamaraj has an account of it. So whatever we have done in the past.
Okay. Yeah, okay, Prabhuji, thank you.
Uh, So that we don't know exactly. It's just like if you um, if you live in a house and the windows are open and the doors are open and dust is coming in the house and getting, you know, deposited on different things, the furniture and all that. So how much dust has entered the house? Can you really count that or evaluate that? Can you really say this much dust has come? You don't know. I mean, how much dust has come? It has just come. Similarly, what sins we have done and how many sins we have done and how much thick the sinful reactions are, we can't really. It's too much to for us to calculate or understand. But it is there. We know that. It's like dust is there. You can see the dust is there. Now, how much dust is there? You can calculate, isn't it? 2 grams, 200 grams, 150 grams, or this grams or that many grams. No, or these many dust particles. Can we really count the dust particles that came inside? No, you can't. So there is mountain of sins, you can say. But when we engage in these devotional activities, then those mountains of sins also get destroyed. And the simple point to understand if your sins are getting reduced or not is how much you are becoming illuminated, how much your consciousness becomes enlivened. You can see that. Sinful and pious. It's very simple to understand. A sinful person will always have fear, anxiety, anger, lust, greed, haunting the heart. You know, a person who's pure will be free from all these things. So no one needs anyone to tell him or her whether that person is still having sin or not having sin. You can check yourself. Is there anxiety in you? Is there stress in you? Is there fear in you? Is there anger, lust, greed in you? Is there illusion in you?
प्रभु जी सब है तो क्या है, मतलब क्या करें?
So that means that sin is still there.
Sin is still there. It has reduced, but it is still
Hmm.
there.
So it will
So
reduce. No, the way it has reduced now, it will reduce further also. So take for that, it will take some time.
we have to practice devotional services seriously.
Yes, it will take time. The point is, it will take time. And you have to accept that it will take time. Patience is a very important key in spiritual life. It will take time. That is the reason, I was reading yesterday a very interesting thing. Temples used to be made on top of mountains earlier, and then you had to climb lot of stairs to reach to the temple and then take darshan of Bhagavan. So the reason that temple was made on top of the mountain was you will take a lot of time to reach the temple, right? You have to climb so many stairs. So it is going to teach you four qualities. And this is very nice point. When you climb the stairs, you have to have four qualities, otherwise you cannot climb those stairs. First, you have to have humility. If you are not humble, you are not going to go. You say, who will go to see him? What is so special about him? I will not go. Then you need tolerance because it is painful. You have to climb the stairs. So the legs will pain, the back will pain, right? And the third thing, you have to have a lot of patience because 500 stairs, 1000 stairs, 1500 stairs. If you don't have patience, how will you climb? And then fourth thing is you need to have sufficient enthusiasm to keep you go on. If you don't have that enthusiasm, you may climb 200 stairs and then decide it's okay. Mentally, we'll do take darshan. No need of physical darshan. Let's go back. I'll take mental darshan. From here only we do pranams. And Krishna is Bhavagrahi Janardana. He'll accept my pranams. Okay. I'm going back. So you don't have sufficient eagerness. You know. So 4 things are needed: humility, tolerance, patience, and eagerness. And we need that in spiritual life. So you'll have patience. Sometime it will take. Okay. Fine. And we go to the next verse. Well, purport is remaining. Yes, let's read the purport. Sharada Mataji, please read.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Those eligible for elevation to the transcendental position are mentioned in this verse. For those who are sinful, atheistic, foolish, and deceitful, it is very difficult to transcend the quality of desire and hate. For those who have passed their lives in practicing the regulative principles of religion, who have acted piously, and who have conquered sinful reactions, can accept devotion service and gradually rise to the pure knowledge of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then, gradually, they can meditate in trance on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is the process of being situated on the spiritual platform. This elevation is possible in Krishna consciousness in the association of pure devotees. For in the association of great devotees, one can be delivered from delusion. It is stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam that if one actually wants to be liberated, he must render service to the devotees. Mahat sevam dwaram ahur vimukte. But one who associates with materialistic people is on the path leading to the darkest region of existence. Tamodwaram yoshitam sangi sangam. All the devotees of the Lord traverse this earth just to recover the conditioned souls from their delusion. The impersonalists do not know that forgetting their constitutional position as subordinate to the Supreme Lord is the greatest violation of God's law. Unless one is reinstated in his own constitutional position, it is not possible to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead or to be engaged in his transcendental loving service with determination. Hare Krishna.
Mm. So this determination does not come if we are not free from sinful life. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada so strongly emphasized follow the principles, follow the regular principles, because if you don't do that, then determination will not be strong enough. It's like burning fire and then putting off the fire by putting water into it. So therefore, one has to be serious about following the principles. Next verse. जरामरण मोक्षाय माम आश्रित्य यतन्ति ये ते ब्रह्म तद्विदु कृत्स्नम् अध्यात्मं कर्म चाखिलम्. There's a change of topic now. Krishna is introducing the topic of Yoga Mishra Bhakti, which he'll explain more in chapter 8. Because he already explained Karma Mishra, Jnana Mishra. Now he's also talking about Yoga Mishra. So there are people who are of that category, and he's giving some knowledge to them here. These two verses, 29 and 30, talk about it. And then in chapter 8, few verses also talk about. So there will be continuation of this subject into chapter 8. Intelligent persons who are endeavoring for liberation from old age. Now, how do you know it is Yoga Mishra? Because here is the key. Intelligent persons who are endeavoring for liberation, they want mukti. Jara marana mokshaya. They are mukti interested people. And death, take refuge in me in devotional service. So they don't want to serve Krishna because they want to please Krishna. They serve Krishna because they want mukti. Jara marana mokshaya. They're actually Brahman because they entirely know everything about transcendental activities. So this is Yoga Mishra Bhakta. Purport. Abhesina Prabhu, please read.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Birth, death, old age, and disease affect this material body, but not the spiritual body. There is no birth, death, old age, and disease for the spiritual body. So, one who attains a spiritual body becomes one of the associates of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and engages in internal devotional service and engages in internal devotional service is really liberated. Aham Brahmasmi, I am a spirit. It is said that one should understand that he is Brahman, spirit soul. This Brahman inception of life is also in devotional service as described in this verse. The pure devotees are transcendentally situated on the Brahman platform and they know everything about transcendental activities. Four kinds of impure devotees who engage themselves in the transcendental service of the Lord achieve their respective goals, and by the grace of the Supreme Lord, when they are fully Krishna conscious, they actually enjoy spiritual association with the Supreme Lord. But those who are worshippers of demigods never reach the Supreme Lord in his supreme planet. Even the less intelligent Brahman realized persons cannot reach the supreme planet of Krishna known as Golok Vrindavan. Only persons who perform activities in Krishna consciousness, Mam Asritya, are actually entitled to be called Brahman because they are actually endeavoring to reach the Krishna planet. Such persons have no misgivings about Krishna and thus they are factually Brahman. Those who are engaged in worshipping the form or archa of the Lord, or who are engaged in meditation on the Lord simply for liberation from material bondage, also know by the grace of the Lord the purpose of Brahman, Adhibhuta, etc., as explained by the Lord in the next chapter. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Last verse. Sadhibhutadidaivam mam sadhiyagyam chaye viduhu prayanakalepi cha mam te viduryukta chetasaha. Those in full consciousness of me who know me, the Supreme Lord, to be the governing principle of material manifestation of the demigods and of all methods of sacrifice, can understand and know me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, even at the time of death. Purport. Shweta Mataji, you want to read?
Yes, Prabhuji. Persons acting in Krishna consciousness are never deviated from path of entirely understanding the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In the transcendental association of Krishna consciousness, one can understand how the Supreme Lord is governing principle of the material manifestation and even of demigods. Gradually, by such transcendental association, one becomes convinced that of the supreme personality of Godhead, and at time of death, such a Krishna conscious person can never forget Krishna. Naturally, he is thus promoted to the planet of Supreme Lord Golak Vrindavan. This seventh chapter particularly explains how one can become a fully Krishna conscious person. The beginning of Krishna consciousness is association of persons who are Krishna conscious. Such association is spiritual and puts one in directly in touch with the Supreme Lord and His grace. And one can understand Krishna to be Supreme Personality of Godhead. At the same time, one can really understand the constitutional position of the living entity and how the living entity forgets Krishna and become entangled in material activities. But gradual development of the Krishna consciousness in good association, the living entity can understand that due to forgetfulness of Krishna, he has become conditioned by laws of material nature. He can also understand that this human form of life is an Prabhuji upwards. Up- this human and he should fully and that it should be fully utilized to attain the causeless mercy of the Supreme Lord. Many subjects have been discussed in this chapter: the man in distress, the inquisitive man, the man in want of material necessity, knowledge of Brahman, knowledge of Paramatma, liberation from birth, death, and diseases, and worship of Supreme Lord. However, he who is actually elevated in Krishna consciousness does not care for the different processes. He simply directly engages himself in activities of Krishna consciousness and thereby factually
attains his constitutional position as an eternal servitor of Lord Krishna. In such a situation, he takes pleasure in hearing and glorifying Supreme Lord in devotional service. He is convinced that by doing so, all his objectives will be fulfilled. The determined faith is called Dhridavrata, and it is the beginning of the Bhakti Yoga or transcendental loving service. That is the verdict of all scriptures. This 7 chapters of Bhagavad-Gita is the substance of conviction. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purports to the 7th chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita in the matter of knowledge of the Absolute.
Yes. So this is Dridhavrata, determined faith, that by just hearing and chanting about Krishna, I can become completely realized in spiritual reality. And this is what we follow in ISKCON as a system, we should know. Srila Prabhupada gave us this method of purification. Our process of sadhana revolves around these two things, Shravana and Kirtana. That's all. So if you can become accustomed to it, it's very nice for you. Because if you don't become accustomed to it, then you'll always feel yourself not being in ISKCON actually. Because ISKCON is all about these two things only. Truly, what is that? Shravan and Kirtana. Because that is the process that Srila Prabhupada has given as mainstream sadhana for devotees in ISKCON. Shravan and Kirtana. And the more we align ourselves with these two things and find happiness in it, pleasure in it, satisfaction in it, you will get ample of opportunities for that in ISKCON. But if you're looking for something else, then maybe you have to go to some other institute. But in ISKCON, this is the primary sadhana, Shravan and Kirtan, hear and glorify. Because this is the most pious activity. Shravanam Kirtanam. Sorry, what is that verse from chapter 2, first canto? Punya Shravana Kirtana. Shinvatam Swakatha Krishna. Punya Shravana Kirtana. Hidayantasto Bhadrani Vidhunoti Suhrit that this Shravan and Kirtan about Krishna is the most pious activity to perform. That's why we should do it very nicely. Then it brings purification. So this chapter ends here. We'll not start with the next chapter today. Next class, chapter 8. Any last question or comment?
Prabhuji, I have one thing which was going in.
We have one
Yesterday we
thing.
were
What
which was
is?
going in is that
Thing
yesterday we were
here.
really been discussing that demigods worship and Krishna. So does Krishna select us or we select Krishna?
Does Krishna?
Select us as a devotee, or rather moving to this path towards this path, or we select Krishna to worship.
Krishna selections.
See, you have to understand it in this way, Prabhu. We are in a journey, and this journey is about the development of consciousness. So, to the degree your consciousness is evolved, Krishna sitting in the heart as Paramatma is bringing you to different shelters. Fine. It's not that because you have come to Krishna now, that means you have never ever had worshipped any demigod in your previous life. So you have done all that also. So at that time you needed that. So Krishna provided you that. Now you have come to a certain level of consciousness that you can begin to appreciate Krishna as Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Krishna has given you that Sangha, that opportunity. So you can't say that Krishna has forcefully brought you to Krishna consciousness. You also were ready for it, mature enough for it. So Krishna has only facilitated it. That's what Krishna does sitting in the heart as Paramatma. He's facilitating. Fine. So you had that. Otherwise, if you didn't have that, then why would Krishna unnecessarily pull you here? Krishna will inspire you to go in that direction where you wanted to go.
My mother is a Diksha from Ramakrishna Mission, and
Okay.
most of the people in my family are followers of Ramakrishna Mission.
Okay.
In spite of that, I am in iskcon.
What is the
Just
problem in it?
no,
There's
there is no
nothing.
no problem as such, but just a view was
Yeah,
which
so
was distributing.
that's okay. You have born in that family because of some karma. That's, it's not that they and you are exactly same. You are born in that family because of some karma. You have come together. They and you have come together. That is not based on our consciousness. No, that's based on what you have done in the past. So some arrangement is made always like that. Some devotee may be also born in the family of atheists, like Prahlad born in the family of Hiranyakashipu. Completely wrong mismatch. Sometimes an atheist may be born in the family of devotees. That is also possible. Yeah, if you have come to Krishna consciousness, there was some seed of it inside you from before.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, we hear from you every Saturday, Sunday. So satsang is done. The, do we earlier I used to go to temple to hear satsang in ACS layout. So does it really require I should go now also, because I feel I am doing satsang on Saturday and Sunday. No, there is no need of going to temple. So
You should go to temple. Why you should not go to temple? This is online. Online is not the best method of satsang or associating with devotees, practicing Krishna. This is just an extra thing for your spiritual life. This is not the main course. The main course is you go to proper sangha of bhaktas, chant with them, hear from them, do some seva. This is just an extra support because we have this Zoom Devta which is helping us. So we are taking advantage of this situation. But it's not that, this should replace physically being in devotee association. So sometimes our lazy mess gives us these ideas. I'm already doing online satsanga, so why should I not continue with that? So that is your laziness talking to you and inspiring you. Hmm. You should go to temple at least once in a week. If you are staying outside, you should go once in a week. You should go to temple once in a week.
I will go once in a while.
Yeah, one should do that. Mm.
Okay, last question. I am not able to leave coffee and chocolates and ice creams.
There are substitutes for it, no? There's herbal coffee. That
I
is
don't
also okay. Okay. Huh?
I don't like that.
So that's a problem. So you start liking it. What's the problem? You tell yourself this is coffee only. Cheat yourself. Tell yourself this is coffee only. Just like sometimes mother cheats the child, right? This is exactly what you need. So you cheat yourself. This is coffee only. That substitute you can try slowly, slowly. You'll get out of your taste for coffee. Few things only, right? It's not much. You mentioned three things: coffee, chocolate, ice cream, right? So you have coffee, you have substitute chocolate. You can go for carob. That is also good substitute for chocolate. And then ice cream, you make ice cream at home.
Okay.
What's the problem?
We have to learn and make the things at
Huh?
home. We have to
Huh?
learn
and make at home.
Yeah, so you try doing that. After some time, you'll become so frustrated, you'll give up eating ice cream. Because when you have to buy something and eat, it's easy. When you have to cook and eat, then after some time, all that interest in cooking and eating goes away. So you try doing at home. I make my own ice cream and eat it. We'll make sometimes after that.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay. Yes.
Hare
Anything
Krishna.
else?
I have a question. I mean, yesterday you have shown us the hierarchy chart. So the question for me is like when we pray for the well-being of devotees or well-being of family members, this desire is automatically there to see them do well. So does it, when we have this, I mean, do we come under karma, Mishra Bhakti, or
Yeah. Yes. It does come.
mm,
Because pure bhakti means you only desire pure things for yourself and pure things for others. Let's say I'm praying to Krishna for good health of yours, let's say, just a hypothetical case. Now I'm praying to Krishna for good health of yours. But Krishna wants to keep you in bad health because Krishna knows that is good for your spiritual life. So how am I then with Krishna? I'm going against Krishna because Krishna wants that for you and I want something else for you. Therefore, the best prayer is that you tell Krishna, Krishna, whatever is good for that person, you do. That is the best prayer.
yes,
Now, but because we are living in a society, so if someone tells you, please pray for my good health, you say, yes, definitely, I'll pray for you. Then you don't give a philosophical lecture, that, no, why should I pray for your good health? Then this will make impure mixed bhakti. All that you don't do. Then you say, yes, I'll pray for your good health. But when you go to Krishna, then you pray to Krishna. Krishna, whatever is good for that devotee, you do it.
okay, Prabhuji,
Right.
understood.
So when we are living in a society and people have emotions, so we don't kind of crush their emotions or, we respect that and we say, yes, yes, okay, thank you and all that. But we know the reality. So when we present in front of Krishna the case, we should present it in the real manner because you don't have to hide anything from Krishna. No, he knows everything. From people, sometimes you may have to deal with them based on their present mental situation. If someone is very emotional and that person comes to you and tells you, I'm very troubled in life, can you please pray for me? So you don't want to increase the trouble of that person by giving a philosophical lecture now, right? All this is Maya. Then that person will become more troubled. So for some time you'll say, okay, no problem, I'll pray to Krishna, everything will happen. It's correct, and all that.
Yes, Prabhu, because naturally the inclination goes to, I mean, our prayers will go in a way that we want to see the devotee achieve what they wish to. So
Mm.
the prayer
Yeah,
goes
because
in that way.
but the thing is that that devotee himself or herself doesn't know what is good for him or her at that point. Krishna knows the best. That person may not know. The person only may desire something, but Krishna may know what does that person need.
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah.
Isn't it? Yeah. So therefore, if you really want to ask someone to pray for you, you should tell that person, please pray for me to Krishna that he gives me the strength to go through what I'm going through in Krishna conscious manner. Whether I'm going through good times or I'm going through bad times, let me get the strength and the right consciousness to go through it rather than change it. Generally, we always desire for a change. Right? Can Krishna change the situation for me? Can Krishna do this for me, that for me? So rather than that, we can ask, please help me to go through it. Because if you go through it now in the right way, it is going to add to your spiritual credit. It's like an exam you have passed. If you don't go through it, you are just delaying that exam, right? If you go through it, in the right way, it's a step you have crossed. So it's like a promotion offer. You have overcome that.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah. So just like some of you are postponing your Bhakti-sastri exams, uh, we also many a times in a Krishna conscious life postpone the exams that Krishna is trying to give us. If we don't postpone and we just accept and we go through, then we'll have a promotion. And if we keep on postponing, then it's like Krishna, not this life, next life, please. Till that time, I just want to have some fun. Next life. Ram Raga Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, could you please elaborate a little bit the Yoga Mishra Bhakti and Jnana Mishra Bhakti, and is there any hierarchy in that?
Jnana Mishra, Yoga Mishra are quite similar. They both are in one category only. Actually, Gyan and Yoga are Jnana only. So there are only two things, karma and jnana. This yoga, you can say, is an extension of jnana. Therefore, it's not seen as. Uh, Bhagavad-Gita, Vishwanath Thakur says there are three subjects only: karma yoga, jnana yoga, bhakti yoga. It doesn't say there are four subjects: karma yoga, jnana yoga, ashtanga yoga, and bhakti yoga. Because this ashtanga yoga is only a, you can say, extension of jnana section. Right? So Yoga Mishra and Jnana Mishra doesn't have much difference as such.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji.
And it's a little higher than Karma Mishra because in Karma Mishra, the there's still a lot of attachment on material plane. At least on the platform of Jnana, one has risen above the material plane. Therefore, the platform of a Jnani is, you can say, spiritually much better than the platform of a Karmi. Because a Karmi is still enjoying the illusion. At least the Jnani knows this is the illusion. Though the Jnani doesn't know the reality, but at least the Jnani knows this is the illusion. And a Karmi is still enjoying the illusion.
Hmm.
Right. Okay.
Okay. Thank
Mhm. Kavita Mataji.
Yes, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavad Pranam. I just had one question on Prabhuji's question that when people say, pray for us. So when somebody is very critical in state, and that time, a family member asks us that, can you please pray that will the person survive? Pray, 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 and they keep on insisting that pray in this way, pray in this way. Then how should we answer them?
You should say, yes, I will pray. What is the
Yes.
problem? Saying yes.
No, meaning they question us that will the person survive? So how would I know that that is
So
all
that's what
Krishna?
so that's what you tell them. How would I know?
Yeah, Prabhuji, but their emotional and mental health is so weak at that moment. So that made me a little confused.
Yeah, so sometimes it depends on the person you're talking to and exactly what is going on. Sometimes you may have to externally say that we will pray our best, but let us leave it in Krishna's hand because after all, God knows better than us. So you can give them knowledge of reality in small doses instead of like giving them that knowledge in big doses, just small doses. That you tell them, yes, I'll pray, we should all pray, but at the same time, we should also be prepared for whatever God decides, Krishna decides. So in that way, you are not completely, smashing down their emotions or their feelings. At the same time, you're not keeping them in complete illusion also.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So in small doses, we have to speak the reality. Because if you just hide the reality, it's not going to help them in any way. So you have to give some doses of reality also. And then after all, who can live for forever? Everyone has to die. You will also die. I will also die. Everyone has to die. So we will try our best. We'll pray our best. We'll do everything. But then we are not the supreme controllers. We cannot decide everything. So we have to also understand and accept.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So
Thank you so
that's
much.
so. First of all, in any such situation, you have to be very strong. If you also just get carried away by those emotions, then you can't give support. And a person who is carried away by emotions cannot give support to another person who is getting carried away by emotions. You know?
Yes.
So you have to be internally very strong, and then you can use emotions as a tool, but not that you get carried away by them.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay.
Yes, thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, isn't it not carried away by emotions nobody wants, but isn't it like somebody cries easily, somebody hold it like that, somebody
What you are talking is about mundane psychology. I'm not talking about mundane psychology. I'm talking about transcending your material emotions. So there are two things. One can be you are a very soft-hearted person, materially speaking, and you are a hard-hearted person, materially speaking. But here we are not talking about being soft-hearted, hard-hearted on material platform. Here talking about seeing things from the platform of transcendental knowledge. Right? That is what we are talking about. So if you can learn to see things from transcendental knowledge perspective, it doesn't matter whether you're hard-hearted or soft-hearted, right? So that's what we have to learn because being very soft-hearted is also not going to be helpful. Being very hard-hearted is also not going to be helpful. We have to be balanced and we have to work from the platform of transcendental knowledge. That's why Krishna is keep giving all this knowledge to Arjuna. No? We have to understand it. Mhm. And when you act from the platform of knowledge, externally you may perfectly act in an emotional manner. No one even will understand that you are acting from transcendental platform. You can be so emotional, you can be so sensitive, and you can be so warm, etc. But internally you are completely unaffected. And that is the art that we have to learn. So we are not asking that Krishna is not telling become hard hearted, you are too soft hearted. No, Krishna is just saying you transcend it. You transcend it. That means you use emotions as to do something out of it. And this is what Krishna, this is a very nice lesson in Ramayana actually. You know, in Ramayana, there's this episode where Lord Ramchandra, Mother Sita, and Lakshman are in the forest. They have been, they went to the forest. We all know that story, how it happened, why it happened. So, Bharata, when he realized that his mother has done this crooked thing, right, in conspiracy with Manthara, so Bharat became outrageous. And then Bharat said, I'll go to the forest and I'll bring Lord Ramchandra back to Ayodhya. Isn't it? You know this. Hmm? So then Bharata went with a huge army to meet Lord Ramachandra and bring him back. And on his way to meeting Lord Ramachandra, everyone was thinking that Bharat has come with an intention to fight with Ram. You know, so everyone was misjudging Bharata. But Bharata had no such intention. He was like coming to take Ram back. So when Lakshman was on climbing on a tree to see, because there was so much of sound of elephants and horses and conscious that an army is coming closer. So he climbed the tree to see who is coming. So he saw Bharata is coming. He saw the flag, so he understood Bharata is coming. Immediately, Lakshman became outrageous. He was so much full of anger. His eyes were burning red hot, and he was telling Ramchandra, "I'll kill this Bharata today. He's such a shameless person. He has put you in this situation, and now he's coming here. Well, how is he even bringing his face to show to us?" He was very, very angry. Then at that time, Lord Ramchandra pacified Lakshman. He said, "You should not lose your temper so much. Don't become too emotional." That's what Lord Ramchandra said to Lakshman. So then Lakshman asked Lord Ramchandra a question. Is becoming angry or is becoming emotional wrong? So then Lord Ramchandra said, becoming emotional is not wrong, but then your emotion should not cover your understanding of reality. So he said, your anger is covering up your understanding of reality. You don't really know why Bharat is coming, so you don't know the reality. But your anger is covering up that reality. So your emotion is now becoming your weakness. It is not becoming your strength. No. So he said there's nothing wrong in being emotional because we have emotions and we need to use emotions. How can you be a devotee without having emotions? But that those emotions should not cover your understanding of reality. That's the point. Therefore, then Lord Ramchandra told Lakshman, you should control this anger and use it only when it is required, not every time. Ramnagar Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, about the emotions again. I think in the discussion today, you told that, I mean, we don't have really love in the material world, but the material world is a perverted reflection of spiritual world, and there is love exists in spiritual world. So, do we understand that the love that exists, or we see, or we perceive in material world, is it kind of a perverted or unpure love?
It is not. See, the word we use is wrong. The word actually we should use is duty, kartavya
Mhm.
buddhi. Like, for example, you are married, you have a wife. So you have some your duties towards your wife. You fulfill those your duties towards your wife. That is your love. That's the highest understanding of love in material world. That's all. Yeah. So that kartavya buddhi comes because of having proper sanskars, having having proper sanskriti, because you have been brought up like that. You have been taught like that. You have seen your parents behave like that. So at max, what you can have as a good person is kartavya buddhi.
Mhm.
And this kartavya buddhi can be translated as love. Like if I want to say that there is love in material world, then I can translate this kartavya buddhi as love in material world. But then this love is not the love of spiritual world.
Mhm. Okay.
So it's not, one cannot say that this kartavya buddhi also does not exist. No, this exists. It exists in material world. It exists in material relationship. And if you want to call that as love, no problem. You can call that as love. That's
Mhm.
okay. And this is what we have to teach people, that you want to love someone, you just follow your duties very nicely. That is sufficient. That much you can do. And
Yeah.
that is love. If you do that much, that is love.
Okay. I mean, we also see from the example of Bharat and Bharat's love towards Ram, right? I mean, that was a pure love because maybe they were still on the, though they were in the material world, but they were still on the spiritual platform. As-
No, it's not because of they being on the spiritual platform, because Ram is Bhagavan and
Hmm.
Bharat is Bhakta.
Okay, so this is not really applicable between the relationship of Bhagwan and Bhakta. Okay, it's between the jivas that we
Here,
can't have a
Bharata
pure
is
love.
You can't have between two jivas. There is no possibility of pure love without bringing Krishna in picture.
Got it. Yeah.
It's not possible. You know. So that is only possible if Krishna is in the center. So if I want to purely love you, I have to pass that love to you through the medium of Krishna. I can't directly love you purely. It's not possible.
What do you mean by passing through medium of Krishna?
That means first you have to love Krishna.
No, means you see other person as a parcel of Krishna. So you
You
love,
see the other person as a parcel of Krishna, but then for that you have to love Krishna also to love that person.
but you only told we don't love Krishna.
So we can't love others also. That's what I'm saying. There's no love in this material world.
Okay.
So you can't love. What you
So
can do is kartavya buddhi. You can have.
we have to increase our attachment to Krishna, you can say.
First, yeah, at first place. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada said that if you don't become a pure devotee of Krishna, to say I love everyone is a bogus statement. How can you? You see, Krishna is the one who is doing the maximum for you. If you can't love him, why will you love X, Y, Z? It's very simple logic. He is the one who is doing the maximum for you, and I don't love him. Then why will I love some stranger who has done nothing for me? Or if he has done also, it is too insignificant to what Krishna is doing for me. Just think about it now.
And
It's
why
like,
do we stand for the person over years and years when he goes away?
huh? Because you have developed attachment, material attachment.
Is that not love?
It's not love. It's like if you use a cycle for 10 years, you become attached to cycle also. You know? So you become attached to it. Right to speak, what to speak of people, you become attached to things also, no? If you live in a house for 30 years, you become attached to the house also. Now, can you say because the house loves me, I love the house? No, that's attachment. You are just getting used to it. Those of you are Prabhuji's, of course, Mataji's, Prabhuji, both. Do you have a dress which you like a lot? It happens sometimes. Like you have been using it for a long time. So does the dress love you? No. But you love the dress. So what is it? Attachment, no? So it's not love, it is attachment, and that attachment is natural because you are in contact with it for a long time and you like it, but you can't call it love. So that's why we have to properly use the words. That's what I'm saying. Properly understand the word that you are using. The love in spiritual world is very different from what you talk about in this material world. And at best, what you can have in this material world is kartavya buddhi. I can do my duties towards you, and that is my love towards you. But if you're talking about prem or love in true sense, then that is only possible if I love Krishna, I can love you because I know Krishna, I know myself, I know you. Now I don't even know you. I am only seeing the material body. And you don't know me, you are seeing just the material body.
I can love Krishna by doing puja to Krishna, by cooking for Krishna, dressing the Krishna,
You
by
are, again, I want to correct you. You are doing all that to learn to love Krishna.
but I want to understand. It is very natural. I see this person, so I develop more attachment. But here we are learning to love Krishna. We can't see Krishna. We can feel, but we can't see Krishna. So we are not on
So
that
the thing is because our consciousness is very much on the mundane platform. Therefore, It's like that. So it's the thing is, we are very poor in our consciousness. That's why. As we become purified, then gradually these things will not matter to me. I can see this person, therefore I can love this person more. Then you will go to a deeper level of existence. You know, okay, fine. So that is because we are still thinking on a we are still existing on a very superficial platform. Now, when you become more purified, then slowly you'll start seeing higher realities and you'll start living in those higher realities. You know, and that will make more sense to you. Like, I'll give you a very simple example. Let's say you have a mother who has brought you up, who has done so much for you, and she's not always nice to you. Sometimes she's angry at you, she chastises you. Maybe she beats you also. When you were a small child, you must have been beaten by her also. All that isn't. Not every time she'll talk to you, she'll be smiling or she'll be using soft words. She may sometimes shout. Now, let's say today your mother is very angry with you and she's shouting at you and she's not talking to you also. She's neglecting you. Fine. You go to the street, you go to the college, you go to your company, and then some man comes and he's talking in a very buttery language to you. And externally, is very nice. He's giving you all smiles, he's buying you presents, and he's trying to satisfy you in all possible ways by giving you gifts. If you are a person who is just an external seeker, seeing things on external platform, then you'll say, this man loves me and my mother doesn't love me. Because you are seeing things on a very superficial platform. And doesn't that happen? It happens. People just get carried away by that uh, expression of love. And in, trying to satisfy that man, maybe then this girl will start fighting with the parents also. It happens. And later on, then that girl realizes, no, no, this man was not actually loving me. This man only had some agenda. Similarly, what experiences that you're going through on mundane platform, it is all superficial, right? You say, I can't see Krishna, I cannot hear Krishna, so how can I develop love for Krishna? But you may not see Krishna, you may not hear Krishna, but whatever Krishna is doing for you is the highest and it's the topmost and it's the most that than anyone who is doing for you. You are getting air to breathe. Who is giving that to you? You're getting food to eat. Who is giving that to you? It's just because Krishna not coming and talking to you, that means Krishna is not doing anything for you. So you have to go beyond that superficial level of thinking and experiencing, to a more deeper level of thinking and experiencing. And then you can understand Krishna loves me, so why should I not love Krishna? Right? So we have to learn to shift our, in English, it's called paradigm shift. Learn to shift your paradigm. Okay, so a lot of talks on the subject matter of love in this class. I hope it's clear now forever. Now, in the next class, we'll not bring up this topic. We'll go to some other topic. Yes, Varshana Leela Mataji, any question?
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you for the class today. Prabhuji, I just need a little bit clarification for Nishkam Bhakta and Ananya Bhakta.
Same.
Okay, so that means that because there are things which we consider bhajana nandi bhaktas, that they have no desire and they are just doing bhajan. And
Yeah.
maybe we Nishkam Bhakta are doing everything for the pleasure of Krishna, but having desires that, okay, maybe let me serve Krishna like this, or maybe instruction from Guru Maharaj to act and serve in a particular manner. So,
No, so you are confusing terms. There's nothing like this.
okay.
Nishkam and Bhajananandi. The terms mean something else. So basically, you're talking about, let's say, a devotee who is having material duties to fulfill.
Yes.
And you're talking about devotees who is free from material duties.
Yes.
Right? That's what you're mentioning.
Yes.
Right? So no problem. It's the same. There's not much difference in that. It doesn't mean if you have material duties to fulfill, you are in a lower category.
So that person can also be an Ananya Bhakta if
Yes. Because who doesn't have material duties? This is a big misconception in ISKCON we have. We think brahmachari or sannyasi, they have no material duties, so they are more pure devotees than grihasthas. A big misconception. Who doesn't have material duties? Everyone has material duties. A sannyasi, he doesn't have duties. He has duties, no? He doesn't have duties maybe towards family, but he has duties towards the institute. What is that institute? It is also material only. So, as long as you live in this world, you cannot become free from material duty. Duties will always be there. You become a guru, let's say you become a guru, and you have 500 disciples. Then what is that? Duty only,
duty. Mm.
right? So it's
Devotee.
just that based on our adhikar, like our particular karma and our adhikar, we are in a particular situation. In that situation, you have X, Y, Z duties. And it's going to be for everyone. Sannyasi, brahmachari, grihastha, purusha, stri, whatever. Anyone doing anything can be a Ananya Bhakta.
Okay. So Prabhuji, then we can say this Nishkam Bhakta and Anya Bhakta are synonym, sort of.
Synonyms.
Yeah, and then likewise Nishkam Karma Yoga and pure Bhakti Yoga is also synonym.
No, why synonym? You are Nishkam and pure is okay synonymous, but karma and bhakti is not synonymous.
Okay.
That is not same.
Okay.
Right? That's not same. Understanding, right? That's not same. Karma and bhakti are not synonymous, no?
Yeah, I understand that one who is just devoting all the karma to the Lord, but it's not in the bhakti. That is that correct understanding, Prabhuji?
Correct.
Nishkam.
Yes, Nishkam karma is
Okay.
you are doing karma and you are giving the result to Krishna and you are doing it for Krishna. But in bhakti, you do what Krishna wants you to do. In Nishkam karma yoga, you do whatever you want to do.
So Prabhuji, in that steps of different bhakti we have seen, so above Artha, Jigna and Artharthi, can we place Nishkam Bhakti Yoga and then Gyan Mishra or Karma Mishra
That
Bhakti?
Gyan Mishra and Yoga Mishra is Nishkam only. Because Jnana brings Nishkamta. If there is Jnana, then only there will be Nishkamta, no?
Yes.
How that Nishkamta will come? Without Jnana, Nishkamta cannot come. So when you talk about Nishkam Karma Yoga is an addition of Karma Yoga and Jnana. That makes it Nishkama. Understanding?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Right? And in that Nishkamata, you add little bhakti, then it becomes bhakti.
Okay, Prabhuji, yes, this clarifies. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Okay. So this is a very good question you asked, and this is something which we all have to understand. We all have duties. We will continue to have duties. So we can't run away from duties. You can be a pure devotee in the very situation in which you are. You don't have to change it. Right? And that's what we should aspire for. That is the only thing that we have to do. And if you just want to change and change and change, there's no end to changing things around you. And it can be a big time illusion. Now I'm a grihastha, so how can I be a pure devotee? In future, I'll take sannyas, then I'll become a pure devotee. Then someone becomes a sannyasi, thinks, now I'm a new sannyasi, how can I be a pure devotee? After 10 years, I'll become a more senior sannyasi, then I'll become a pure devotee. You know, so this thing of external change will always be there. That's why Prabhupada did not so much focus on external sannyas. What did he say? Everyone should take sannyas. This is what he said. Everyone should take sannyas. But which sannyas he meant? Indana sannyas.
Sorry, it is at the last. You said everyone should take sannyas. How can we become pure devotee in the state in which I am? And we are, means different state people are.
If
How
you,
can
for that,
we become pure devotee? Because we have to die one day. We have to, if we become pure devotee only, we can go back to Krishna. Otherwise, not.
yeah, then take birth again and continue to learn.
So how can we become pure devotee?
We'll be studying now. We'll be studying. So many verses are there on Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. We'll study. Now, if you understand it, you understand. If you don't understand it, then you wait till you understand it. It's very simple. Like Shweta Mataji, you asked this question, how will I become a pure devotee? The answer is clear. It's a verse from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu which gives the answer. But let's say you hear that answer. Next question is, will you understand? Not understand. Why you not understand? Because maybe the consciousness is not there yet, isn't it? Therefore, the point is what? The point is we keep practicing what has been given to us. And then slowly, we will make progress. Like step by step, now. There are many things which you will not understand now. But the same thing you'll understand after 4 years, or 3 years, or 2 years, or 10 years. And because it's like that. The cloud, as it gets clear, the vision becomes better. So what do we need? One quality we need for it. What is that quality?
Humility.
Determination,
Third one,
Utsaha.
patience.
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 Okay, so you need to have patience. Fine, we'll stop here. See you next week. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.